Fran, you've always thought your team was a good outside shooting team. Were you just kind of waiting for a game like this for them to not really show it and carry it?
Yeah, you know what, Pat, I was really surprised that we had some games where we hadn't shot it well. I felt like we had multiple three-point shooters. And we saw that today, you know, especially early when Josh, Zach, Mike, Dev, and, you know, we have other guys that can make them too. So, you know, I wasn't surprised. And, you know, the way they defend, I mean, they really close hard on penetration and wall off the basket. You're going to get open shots. You just got to make them.
One of the threes that you did get there was from Aaron late in the game and pushed your lead up to 9. Do you get the sense that just got his confidence going again?
You know, the interesting thing with that is, you know, he missed one early. He hasn't been shooting well. And he just stepped up. You know, when they threw it to him, he's right in front of me. And he didn't hesitate. And he drilled it. You know, I think that might have been, that Wasabi's jumper, maybe the two biggest shots of the game.
Is Aaron feeling okay, or is he injured, or is he sick or something? He looked like he was injured or something. You had him on the bench a lot.
Well, he got tired. You know, the way they run their offense, it takes a lot out of you to defend if you're gonna effectively stop them. And I took him out. He was winded, and I got him back in, and he was terrific.
Talk about the boost Olasani gave you, especially in the first half off the bench.
You know, he's really an amazing person because he was playing really well. The best game of his career was a South Dakota game, and then we play Iowa State, and I don't put him in. You know, a lot of kids would be really upset with me, with everybody else. He had the best week of practice he's ever had. He just keeps coming. So I made sure I got him in. I felt like he could play well, especially as well as he practiced. I thought his length could bother them a little bit. But what you're seeing is a guy now who's not making mistakes. He's comfortable out there and knows he can affect the game, comprehends the game plan, and then goes out and gets the job done. I'm proud of him.
Eric May, you look at his numbers, 24 minutes, 7 assists and no turnovers. He was kind of a glue guy for you there.
Well, they have really good perimeter scorers, and they're going to get you if you don't make guys that can guard them. I thought Marble, May, and Gasell in particular were the three guys defensively that did a terrific job on them. Eric, he's been through a lot in terms of gaining experience, and he knows how to play against these guys. He drove the ball, and he broke the defense down, and jump stopped, and made plays. And you know, we got into the bonus early in the second half. You know, when you have a lead, that's exactly what you want.
What do you think of Arbel's performance tonight?
What was amazing with him is, you know, I didn't rest him very much, and he seemed to have an incredible energy level the entire time. I moved him around. He played some point, he played some two, he played some three, guarded a lot of different people, stuck his nose on the glass. Just looked to me like he was really determined to make sure we won the game.
Was he a little more quick to take the three today than normally, or is that just part of the game for him?
Well, I think he started hitting a little, so I mean, I think that would make anybody more comfortable. But he's got the green light, so I don't ever tell him not to take it.
Gasell hit 4 out of 5 right off from three-point range right off the bat. I mean, really.
Yeah, you know, and the only mistakes he made, you know, he was tremendous hitting shots early, and we put him at the one. He hasn't been there as much. He made 1 or 2 mistakes, and it's the great thing about him. It doesn't bother him. He just comes right back. It doesn't make any mistakes, and plays great in the second half.
You had your leading offensive weapons in this game were completely different from your last game. What's that say about this team?
Well, I think, Mike, it's the key to our team. If you look at it, you know, who's going to do what on any given night? You know, everybody wanted to talk about the freshmen in the last game, and rightfully so. And today, Eric May, Zach McCabe, Basabi were terrific. Olasini was terrific. You know, Woodbury and Clemens didn't have the kind of games they're capable of having, but they have teammates that come in and get us home, and there'll be other games where they're spectacular, and that's what good teams do. You have 10 or 11 guys that you can play in different situations, depending upon the opponent, depending upon style of play, and effectively take advantage of it. I mean, when you think about it, Basabi was out for a while, comes in and bangs a jumper. We really needed a basket when he hit that shot. And that really settled us down, and that's the kind of thing that he can do.
You seemed to do a good job extending your defense out to the three-point line. They took 16, but virtually all of them were contested. Did you see anything off the George Mason game? Did you change anything to extend that defense?
Well, we saw a lot from last year's game, and we didn't do a good job of what you just said, Rick, at all. So we made sure that didn't happen again. We watched the other games, of course, and You know, they have particular actions, they run a lot of counters and so forth, and you can't get ready for everything, but you can get ready for particular action. And that's part of it. You know, they're a unique team in the sense that a lot of times it's their bigs that are driving and kicking to their guards instead of the guards driving and kicking to the bigs. And they've got everybody that can shoot threes. You know, I mean, Rank hit a big three for them. You're getting ready to put it away, and he bangs one. I mean, that's the kind of team they have. So, yeah, I think it's important that, you know, we're able to get up into them and really contest. I mean, most of the threes that they made in the game you're talking about, and the game against us last year, were catch and shoot threes. And you make them put on the floor a little bit, they can rush a little bit, they're going to make it.
Woodbury came out and got 2 quick fouls at the beginning of the second half and then didn't play the rest of the night. Was it a situation where this was just a game that he didn't, wasn't properly scouted for him, or it just wasn't his night?
You know, he got off to a rough start, okay? Put him back in, he got his second foul. You know, we went to him the first possession of the second half, he missed a shot. It was a good play. I thought the next time he made a great move, got fouled. It was 1 for 2. But he was not himself, and I had some other options. I went with those options.
You like how your team has matured over these last 2 games, shown ability to close out games and win games?
We've showed a tremendous amount of maturity because we had to do it at both ends. I mean, most importantly, Rick, you watched all of our games last year. I think we made tremendous strides as a defensive team. You know, if we have any chance to be really good, if we have any chance to be in a championship hunt or go to the NCAA tournament, we've got to defend. We could not defend the way we defended last year. And I think it's clear that we've made great strides in that area.
Last question.
Coming
You
off
guys
the-
didn't do so.
We can go 2 more.
Thank you, Coach. Last year here in Wells Fargo Arena, didn't do so well against Creighton, and then didn't do so well in Cedar Falls against Northern Iowa. Was there any sense of exercising those demons today in kind of one fell swoop?
I don't know that we look at it that way. I mean, I think a lot of people do. I think it's a legitimate question. What we try to do is identify what we didn't do in those games you referred to and what we had to do to be better. And that was really all we were trying to accomplish, and clearly we were.
Against Virginia Tech, your defense struggled, especially in the second half, but you've since seemed to rebound. They seem to be more in tune defensively, focused defensively. Was that the kind of game that kind of shocked everybody into, okay, you're going to have to really refocus?
Well, you know, that's a really good, a really potent, a really quick offensive team with tremendous athletic power. We played them pretty well, like you said, in the first half. Second half, it got away from us. And it's all part of the learning process to get better. So I think that's a component of taking the steps necessary, and it's part of what's necessary to have the kind of performance we had today defensively. But now the challenge is where do we go from here?
Okay.